place this week, we have I'm a Slayer versus Poop, and you won't believe what this fucking guy did. So he gets kicked in the nuts, and his leg flies off. His leg flying off kicks off his opponent's arm. He grabs the leg, throws it back, hits it in the face of his opponent. First place this week, we have Victor4554 with thousands of kicks. Okay, probably just 3 or 4, I'm not sure. But they absolutely wrecked through this guy's fucking everything, man. Seriously, that's like destructive as fuck. Carstinator getting absolutely split in half, losing most of his torso, but he still gets the win by a really sick, non-expected move that he decides to do. So check how he gets ripped in half here, and then he's spinning in the air here. He decides to steal his opponent's head and just clip bloop onto the ground before he loses. Shit! And in first place this week, we have the Cobb, and these two guys are grapple battling for something, man. Seriously, something and a half. He just gets split in half, uses his special grab techniques to get the win there on his opponent's elbow. Really, really cool technique as well. Seriously, I've had this happen to me before, and it's pretty fucking evil. It is evil. So check out his opponent's grab there. Is right under his back there. The one right below there. It's gonna split his torso from his body, and now the Cobb is gonna hold onto that left arm of his opponent, and he's gonna let go on the elbow, and the elbow is just gonna bail. Seriously, this week we have a sexy replay by Monkey Apex, and he just ends his opponent's life before it even starts. Like seriously, he cuts off his hand, bro. He cuts off his hand and throws him into the ground for the leg DM. That he cut off an opponent's hand. Like what? Seriously, how do you even do that? Oh my god. We have an insane kick by Moop in TK, and he kicks this guy really hard. Like that is a really hard kick. I mean, those joints are flying everywhere. Look how hard his foot literally dominates his torso. And his opponent probably gave up on the spot. He even has the old Toribash sound as his end. This week we have Felix doing a lovely little move where he first takes his opponent's elbow, but then his opponent takes his arm, and his arm takes his opponent's head. God damn, that chain action was just wow. So check how he gets his arm taken off, and he brings that arm in using the elbow to get the decap and just takes the win. That was a fucking replay, man. Seriously. Okay, so in first place this week we have Think Fast 5, and wow. Need I say more? Wow. Just the fact that he manages to swap the grips from one hand to the other, that's just what? I don't even, bro. Like, so his hand broke, right? So he's gonna swap hands and just use his elbow to decap his opponent. Like, that should just happen, man. That just happened. We have hentai. Oh god. Okay, so this is oddly satisfying to watch because hentai gets lifted up into the sky, brings in a kick, takes his opponent's arm off, lets it grab onto his leg, and uses his leg to put the arm on the ground, dude. Like, that's quick thinking, man. Seriously, wow. This week we have a really weird replay where the wrong person probably won. I don't even know how this goes. I mean, seriously, there's Awesomeness, there's Kiki Pro being red, Awesomeness being exploded halfway through, but still winning. What? He still won that, dude. He got exploded, and he still won. I don't even know how this works, bro. Seriously, like, the guy whose pieces are everywhere. And in first place this week, we have Hentai, who manages to lose his arm, but he also breaks his hand off of that same arm, and that's unfortunate, but not for him, because he manages to balance the rest of the arm on that hand, which manages to save him and give him time while he puts his opponent to the floor for the DQ. God damn, bro. So, like, you literally just won like that. That's something. In place this week, we have something really insane by Hentai, who manages to do something that I probably will never see in my life. So he manages to play with these grab functions here. He puts his opponent's hands together and plays the hand grab game here and kicks his opponent's hand off, and he kind of flies out the ring because he has nothing else to grab with, and he's grabbing his own hand, so he flies out the ring. So let's look at this again, and you'll see that he grabs here, kicks the hand off, the one grabs, and then he tries to grab his own hand to try to keep the grab on his opponent. First place this week we have a replay by Extreme Alt, who gets split in half, but he does the old split in half, take your opponent's arm and put it to the ground dealio, and he gets it to work rather fine, if you ask me, and that's pretty awesome. These replays always look sick, man. We have a weird Boxer replay by Toribash, because I don't know how to read that, like Toribash. And he gets decapped, and he's like, no, I'm not taking this. He's going to cut his opponent's nuts in half, hit his torso, and then kick his rest of crap down to the ground for the win. We have Misclick, and he he does stuff to his opponent, but real bad stuff, like seriously bad stuff, by taking off both his arms, one leg, and decapping him on the floor. Like, seriously, look here closely. At the beginning, he gets an elbow and the knee. DM instantly rips off his other arm and then throws his opponent down to the ground for the decap. That's pretty crazy. And in the first spot this week, we have Epicness84, who rips his opponent's arm off with a headbutt and then hits his opponent with the arm to take his knee off. Like, this is just crazy, man. Like, look at this. Bam! And his knee comes off. Dude, that's just... what the fuck? Who does that? He does. This week, we have a really insanely weird-ass replay where there's a lot of fractures and things that make no sense. Like, seriously. So Nightshade manages to get his hand here. He's the one with the normal Tori. And his hand goes completely under his opponent's neck without breaking the neck off. But he's like, no, fuck it. I'm still getting this decap. And he gets it perfectly in the weirdest way with a fractured arm. That's pretty crazy. Damn, dude. Like, what the hell? I have a replay by Hentai. Oh my god, really, Hentai? How the hell did you make it into this video every fucking week? That's what people keep asking me. Not you, me. But yeah, so this replay is, God forbidding, insanely crazy. You should have lost this. I don't know. Look at this. You have a fractured elbow and you fly to the ground and you get a leg DM and somehow win this. And you got his leg to break off and touch the ground. Dude, what? Play by Moop again. Yeah, Moop. And this one's pretty fucking insane. So he takes the damage to his arm, but he's like, fuck you. And then like, bam! Like destroys his torso. That kick absolutely blew up his torso so crazy, man. That was fucking sick. Look at all those DMs, man. That's just not even right. Dude, wow. So in our first place this week, we have a replay by Monkey Ishii with, I just love this type of stuff, where this leg just comes out of nowhere, taking his opponent's like ass cheek as well as his leg and ripping it off while fracturing his own knee. This just looks awesome, man. Like, bam! That's just like a cool way to get away. Place this week is going to Moonshake. He's fucking clever, man. He gives up that arm on the other side there and uses the arm to take out his opponent's knee and then his hip and gets the win from his opponent's knee hitting the ground. Just look at this, how he sacrifices this arm. Like wow, bro, that was wow. Ball going up for a lovely TK replay. I just love how the flow goes in this one. Catches the leg, kicks his opponent in the back, kicks him in the head, just splitting the freaking rest of his torso and just getting the win like a boss. It's a spar by Cow Meat and Binklaws, and they're having a really awesome spar. I like these moves, man. This looks so realistic. This is cool. And then like, douche. The end is a little bit weird, but it mainly got liked because of these awesome punches. Binklaws is definitely an awesome spar. And I didn't know Cow Meat sparred, but he did insanely exceptional as well. So this was an amazing spar. I love the punches, man. That was epic. Really cool. First place this week, we have a guy who's called I'm Noob, and he decides to pull off one arm off of his opponent with a kick there, and then use that same arm to smash his other arm off of his opponent, and then lets him keep one on his foot, because he's very kind and giving. And in first place this week, we have a replay by X-Hack going up against Victor in Earth TK, and dude, like, I've never seen someone go through this mod in this much damage and come out without breaking nothing. Look, XX Hex, whatever, has no breakings. This week is something by Zero, and it's really fucking funny because he loses his arm on his opponent here, and then he picks his arm off again, and then sticks it to his neck, and then breaks his neck by, well, fracturing it, and gets more points and takes the win. So yeah, that's one hell of a way to get a win. That's one hell of a way. The only thing I can think of this whole time is the guy here, his opponent, could have freaking like made his abs go the other way and turn his torso and hit the arm on the ground, but no, he's gonna just tripod. Because tripod, yeah, this is why, if you tripod, you're like just waiting to lose. I just like how it just awkwardly grabs the back of his head and then like pulls his neck and like it just snaps. Ouch. This week we have a replay by Cubic and Furry Pants. Furry Pants doing some weird ass shit. I have no idea what he was planning here. These guys just, I don't know what they were doing with here. But like, whatever stance that is, it's clearly working because he managed to kick his opponent's head off at the edge of the ring after saving while still staying in the ring and landing in. It's like, what, mate? Like, seriously? A replay by Tootie Boy. And this guy knows how to hug. He does some serious hugging actions that break off his opponent's pecs and also gets a fracture on his neck because, god damn it, that was just like, This guy who just got like murdered by this hug is like, oh, fuck my life. I'm just gonna fucking do it, like a fall over and just like die on the ground here. I'm done. We got a replay by Scar, and this one's really cool because he uses like this like sneaky ass move to get the win before he like flies out the ring, and it's just so fucking funny because like it's like really he's grabbed his opponent's foot there, right? And look, he's like using their foot, and look how close he is to the ground, and then he just does this. Bloop, bloop. Fucking nice win, dude. I love it. That's good. First place this week, we have a lovely replay by Mr. Takahashi, and he goes through his opponent like abs first and carries him around and absolutely destroys him along the way. It's just like freaking hilarious. Like I just like keeps killing him as this goes on. He's trying to fight earnestly there, gets the arm DM'd, like of all things, but he's still going. He's still fighting at it. He's still staying alive until Takahashi throws him down and breaks his elbow against the ground, and he gets disqualified. Damn, that was. Got a replay by Yuke's Rev, and he gets his arm thrown off, and it doesn't fly out the ring. Oh my god, this is probably why this guy loves Reikio so much. So check this. His opponent throws his hand there, and it like just flies at the ring, and he's like, yeah, I've won. And then the hand's like, no, I like this platform. This platform's warm. And then he can't save it, and his hand goes out the ring, and he disqualifies himself. Good job. Replay by Mr. Victor TB and RTK, and he absolutely goes through his opponent, taking out joints like crazy. So he goes and gets the grab on his opponent's hand there, uses his arm and swings it around while still holding his opponent's arm, using it as a weapon to destroy him. That's correct. First place this week, we got a replay by Junspi in Bakshu Mushu Shampoo, and I have no idea how this guy won. He should probably have lost this match, but somehow he made it with all those DMs that he got from that kick that took his arm there and a split and kind of like broke his leg off there, balancing it there. He's like this blue guy here, and he's not going down for DQ anywhere. All of these joints of his flying around all over the ring, and he uses his arm to put his opponent's knee to the ground and gets the win. That is crazy. This week we got a replay by Mr. Killer with numbers. Oh god, people with numbers. So he gets his leg taken off and somehow wins the match. Like seriously, he's this guy in blue here, his leg gets taken off, and he fucking nails it to like wrap it around his opponent's thigh, and it just stays there for most of the match. Like, what? This is not even normal, dude. I don't know. And he's like, somehow tricks his opponent into trying to DQ that leg, but his opponent screws up and DQs himself.
First place, we have Fabricio BR in some absolute annihilation when he gets absolutely fracked and saves himself just by the tip of his toe, quite literally. He goes in, gets a load of fracks there, one on his knee, one on his arm. He then ends up fracking his opponent's arm, and his arm, he ends up swinging his opponent over his body just by the tip of his toe and his knee, uses his other thing just to flick him over and get the disqualification.
This week we got a replay by Mr. Ivor, and he's going up against his opponent with a knee bash to the pec, getting a knee fracture, not a knee fracture, a pec fracture with his knee there, and then, you know, throwing his opponent nice and hard down to the ground, breaking his arm off and getting his head to disqualify. God damn. This week we got another split with Cubic taking the lead here, and quite an awesome split indeed. Like, damn, you're half a body and you're still like throwing this guy around like he's a ragdoll, which he is, but yeah. So this is pretty fucking intense. I just love how you're not dying at all here, and then you fling around like that and like you get him so crazy. It's like, what? Wins again. In first place this week we got a replay by Void Vector. Pretty basic replay. It kind of looks like it's rigged. I really don't know, but it just looks fucking sick, and that's why I'm gonna put it here, because it just looks insane as fuck. Like, seriously. Mr. Ivor, who does a lovely little spin with his opponent, managing to fracture his hip and put him to the ground at the same time. After getting lifted here, you can just check, he goes like, blah, 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 and like brings his opponent down for the insane disqualification and win. Damn. A replay by Hanwha, and he does a cool move where he gets his arm kicked off here, uses it to spin, snaps his opponent's wrist off, and throws his opponent's hand into the ground outside the ring for an instant win and disqualification. So like, just bam, dude, just like that perfect timing and spin, and just like the wrist snapping off, and just like, it's just like the coolest shit ever, man. Holy crap. We got a replay by Mr. Rust, and he just does the coolest decap there ever. It was just like, it just happened so quickly, man. It was crazy. Like, bam! Just through the side of the face, and then just like losing his leg in the process, but still owning his opponent quite awesomely, if I do say so myself. Awesome replay by Moldy Robot, and he gets split in half, does the magics of, you know, magic stuffs that people do sometimes in Aikido, and he just like does this crazy stuff. I like how he's like really keeping his feet to like control him so much here, flipping his opponent around, even getting a decap attempt, but only getting fractures out. It's fucking. We got Toribash yet again, and he does something quite crazy. He loses his arm, but he uses that arm to pull off the magics and pulls off his opponent's head from the neck joint. Holy shit, that's actually pretty fucking cool. This week we got a replay by Mr. XBCZ, and he's doing something really cool. And yeah, bang! Just, you know, smacks his opponent's head with his elbow, breaks up his arm though, and it flies towards the ground along with his opponent's head, but he has a last minute change that changes the path of the outcome of the match. Because that couldn't have been said easier. So could just kabam, and then there, and wrist spins right at the last minute, head hits the ground, XBCC wins. We have Mr. DJMC, that's how you say his name, and he did something really cool here. These platform saves are awesome. He's got like this hip fracture, he's got a knee fracture there, and now he still manages to get this turnover correct and throw his opponent down outside the ring for the win. First place this week we got Toribash 08, cutting it really close with his opponent here as they get in a full-on hug grapple war where things are so intense here and anything can go down until Toribash gets the win on DQing Static's head against the ground. So check how he goes at it. First, they do some stuffs and they grab him backwards here. He fractures his knee, but he fractures his opponent's pec, bringing his arm around the back there. It goes around really crazy looking, really hard to keep up with here. His opponent grabs his head, tries to throw him to the ground, manages to not hit it. Toribash turns it, puts his head to the ground, and takes the win. Played by Mr. Unusual to be winning. Unusual guy, and he uses a very close save after getting his arm dismembered here, because like pulled off with this grab there, takes off, but he manages to hook it to his own arm still, so he's not going to have it fly at the ring. He's going to use it to lift his opponent up in the air, but his opponent's going to land it and fling him face first to the ground. He's going to manage to do a last second turn, save it very nicely, at the same time kick off, put his opponent in an uncomfortable position and put him to Duka 101, and basically him here on the left side there with the blue. You know, they just traded elbows. It happened so quick, I bet you didn't notice. Just check it. He, like, raised his arm, opponent lowers his arm, an elbow snap off. We're gonna need to see this again. Like, it's just so crazy. Like, I bet you didn't even get it there. Me neither. Like, okay, bottom guy raises his arm up, top guy gets elbow cut off, top guy's elbow falls down first, and Zuka gets the win. I am epic, beating last week's first place on Unusual. Oh my god, this is weird. So, he gets split in half, and he does the split in half magics that I love it when people do, and it just looks amazing because he gets split in half and he's like fracture that guy's arm and then like touch his face for a little bit while his legs do some voodoo magic balancing, and he's like on the ground right there, and he's gonna do like some spinning stuffs here. He's gonna like turn it around somehow. His opponent's gonna try to put him to the ground, but it's not gonna work because his arm's gonna come down and the opponent's gonna kiss the floor and it's gonna be like wham. So in first place we got Victor TB, and you know, he's gonna hit his opponent so hard with his head, his opponent's gonna fall to the ground and snap his elbow on the floor and hit his butt for the DQ on the ground. What? Okay, this is an odd replay. This is a, like, who attacks with the back of their head and like get decaps and the elbow snaps? Like, that looks painful as shit. And then butt hits ground, DQ, and goddamn. Oh, and Gary's doing some stuff, man. He's doing some stuff. He's trading arms with his opponent here, and they're both racing for the outside of the ring. But no, you're a wizard, Gary. You're a wizard, Gary. And he's gonna wizard it out. He's gonna be like crazy with these stuffs, man. Just check how this goes down. So he's gonna come into his opponent here. They're gonna trade blows, and it's gonna be like kabam! I don't need no elbow, man. I don't need no elbow, and it's gonna fly. It's gonna fly, and you can see now on the other side of the ring there. It's gonna land. It's got that glove there, and it's like land on the edge of the ring. This does a little spinning magic. Opponent's arm flies out the ring for the DQ, and Gary's a fucking wizard. Played by Mr. Swashicles, and he's gonna lose his elbow here, but it's gonna save. He's gonna manage to DQ his opponent before his flying hand flies out the ring. Now that
is absolutely madness. Like this it doesn't even make like how. Just check it. Breaks his elbow. There goes the hand there. Check like brings him the wrist there. Lands on the edge of the ring. Now as soon as it touches the outside, it gets disqualified, right? But he keeps it on the inside with the elbow joint, and his opponent's head touches the ground inside the ring for too long.